Here is the New South Wales dressing rooms. 9 of them are on debut. Can they rise and take on all the disadvantages of being on debut at Suncorp Stadium?
Well, all that is important, Ray, is that they believe it. Interesting to see there, the backs and the forwards just separating, all the forwards getting together, linking arms around each other. And that's what State of Origin is all about. It's togetherness. Tonight for New South Wales, it is us against them. When they run out there and you see Rodney Howe and Andrew Johns embracing, they know that it's them against the world.
Mark Murray in charge of the Queenslanders for the first time, as is Wayne Pearce over in the other dressing room. But it's been a comfortable progression through to tonight for Queensland. They haven't had the turbulence and the upset that New South Wales have had. Just what effect it will have on the Blues, I'm not so sure. But this looks like it's a very confident Queensland outfit. Kosef in 15 will go onto the field and he will lock the scrum in the opening exchanges.
Yeah, for mine it looks a very strong New South Wales side now. The way that Wayne Pearce has rearranged his side, it looks very strong defensively. And attacking wise with Fittler at 5'8" and Daly in the centres looks a touch stronger as well. Terry Hill there has been in great form for Manly for the last 4 weeks. And it remains to be seen whether he can carry that form into tonight's game. The Queenslanders, Adrian Lamb, leads them out.
A very proud moment for a man who's captained Papua New Guinea. He's captained rest of the world. And he's captained Queensland. And here he is, Adrian Lamb. A controversial selection, leading Queensland out for the Harvey Norman, first of the series. They said it wouldn't work back in 1980, and Senator Ron McAuliffe said, "You're mad, it will." Nothing is bigger in rugby league than mate against mate and state against state. A big night for Kevin Walters. He's got experience around him. Stephen Price. What an amazing comeback for him. Craig Greenhill, only man ever sent off at Origin football. And Brad Fittler takes the Blues out. "21 Origins for Fittler, 24 Test matches. He's captained at Origin level 6 times for 3 and 3. The Blues are there. Almost blown back into the dressing room by the booing. Daly will play centres. Fittler will play 5'8". Jason Stevens on debut at Origin. Steve Roach on the sidelines, soaking it up.
Ray, it never ceases to amaze me. State of Origin just gets better and better. I can't really hear what you're saying, but I'll go on anyway. I'm going to surprise you, Ray. I think the New South Wales side are going to get home. But I'll tell you what, if Gordon Tallis and Jason Smith play well, there'll be only a match struck in it. 20 degrees, a light nor'easter. New South Wales won the toss and are running right to left. Go you Blues.
Yeah. An overcast night following a similar day in Brisbane. We stand by for the rendition of the national anthem to be performed by Scott Irwin, one of the principals currently starring in the Brisbane production of Les Miserables. very strong voice of Scott Irwin. Advance Australia Fair. Beautifully performed. And so we go to where the spotlight will centre for the next hour or so. 90 minutes or so down the track, we'll know who is to win Origin 1. And Peter told us that the team winning Origin 1 has gone on to win it 14 of the last 17 times.
Yeah, 17 best of 3 rate, 14 times. The side that has won the first game, taken the series. I'm sure that has been drummed into these players tonight, the importance. So hard to come from 1-0 down to win 2-1.
Bill Harrigan is doing his 9th Origin. Queensland have won 6 times under Bill Harrigan. It is time on. We are underway. The Blues bring it back with Rodney Howe. 15 out from his own line, first play of the day. Hetherington was the chief tackler. Now Stevens, picked up and driven, bringing a groan and a roar of approval from the Maroon supporters. Now Cossack, Hetherington chopping his leg. Fletcher. 4th tackle, just inside their 30-metre line. Johns has to step. Defenders coming through. Gower gets his opportunity. 5 gone, they made 35 off their own line. Now for Johns. And he gets a clearing kick down to bounce to the 20-metre line. O'Dabo. Met by Daly and Barnhill. A touch that Robbie will be happy to have put behind him. Darren Smith on the second of the first set for Queensland. 38 away from his own line for Greenhill. Played himself into the team undoubtedly in the match last weekend. Tallis. Churchill medalist last year. Plays it for Hetherington to use the blind. Onto the boot of Rogers. Too deep. It'll come back to the 20 for the restart. Special comments during tonight from the King of Origin, Wally Lewis. He'll be with us in commentary right through the match.
And interesting there, Ray, to see Matt Rogers came from the right wing, went all the way over behind the ruck area to be the kicker. Lamb will do some, but obviously Rogers is the first choice as New South Wales work it away. 35 out centre field. I
thought it was forward, the pass from dummy half. Barnhill is with it now. The ball being headed second row, front row forward from Sydney City. A strong representation for them. And their captain, Fittler, is picked up and put down. 42 out from his line. They go to the centre of the ground with Stevens. Half break. Nothing more. The ball is on the ground. Knock on. Loose head and feed.
Very strong defence by Queensland. They're racing up out of their line and just hammering the Blues. So far, players just playing their way into the game. No one's attempted an offload yet. It's steady as you go.
First scrum. Ooh, O'Davis took a shoulder. Went bouncing down. Game 55. Webke with a nice step. Ball has been knocked down. They're offside the Blues. Penalty to Queensland. Opening a little window for them.
Yeah, that's the one thing you've got to be careful of. Don't let your enthusiasm take too much control. And a chance here for Matt Rogers to put first points on the board. Not a particularly easy kick, 38 metres out. But he struck the ball beautifully so far this season. The odds are that this won't be any different.
There was a little bit of confusion out there in the Queensland ranks as you see what the penalty was for. Offside in front of Bill Harrigan. Kevy Walters, I think, wanted to put the ball into touch and keep the pressure on, but I think Adrian Lamb overruled him. Matt Rogers was confident as well. He said, no, I can kick this one.
Sports Tab betting wound up at $1.85 each of 2. A lot of money coming on the New South Wales Sports Tab for Queensland. Late today, they both start at $1.85. Rogers there. 15 in. 35 out. One of rugby league's Houdinis. At nothing, it's on its way. Looking good! It is 2 points for Queensland. 4th minute. crowd loving it.
The one thing we have on show also tonight is a wealth of goal kickers. And Matt Rogers, that'll give him enormous confidence for the rest of the night. Andrew Johns, the restart. He'll probably take on the kicking role now that Ryan Girdler has started on the bench.
Werpke back. Put down by Gow. Robbo Davis a dummy half. They're working away from their 10. Oh, loose ball. Walters cleaned up what would have been an error. Tallis, 20-metre line. McKenna on debut. Rogers there, playing mainly at full back, or should I say deep behind the ruck when the time comes for the kick. First touch for Matt Geyer. What a rise he's had to Origin. He hadn't played first grade until 1997. He debuted for the Reds against Auckland. He wouldn't be able to believe it, and Rodney Howe is put down. And again, Hetherington's in the tackling. Fittler now. Right foot kick down towards the line for Robbie. Robbie O comes back. Terry Hill puts him away. Now Singh. Ansah. Crowd urging the Maroons on, although I've got to be honest, there's a very big sprinkling of sky blue in the crowd as well. Tallis. Hetherington. Now through from Walters and away for Jason. Now for his brother Darren on the right flank at the moment. Wide shot, high shot I should say, to the halfway they go. And Webke. Hetherington now to the left and to the boot. And Rogers again, a mile of time to kick. That's why he's getting such accuracy with his kicking. He's been given a lot of time to kick. And he puts it over the sideline for a 10-metre scrum, 20 in from touch.
Yeah, interesting tactic there from Coach Mark Murray. What happens is that Rogers drops in behind the line. He takes the kick. Robbie O'Davis comes into the centres and defends out there in the chasing team.
And that pushes Darren Smith out onto the wing. That'll be something they need to be a little bit careful of if New South Wales get good quick ball, that they might go straight towards his wing while Rogers is working his way back.
Terry Hill working in close to the scrum. Just the one penalty in the game. It brought 2 points for Queensland. It was against New South Wales for being inside the 10 as Girdler gets ready. The Penrith sharpshooter is getting ready for a taste of Origin football. 22 metres out from their own line, the Blues. They've been basically down here since the game started, apart from a half break by Stevens, and then that came unstuck. And there's a good tackle by Saylor. Ball has gone over the sideline. It'll be an interesting ruling.
The referee's asking the touch judge whether the Queensland player played at it, and it must have been in the affirmative because it would be a New South Wales feed. Cut out pass to Terry Hill. He shaped a pass, came off the hand of Wendell Saylor and went forward.
Gee, I think that's a tough call. I mean, a one-on-one situation, surely you can protect the football. Changes for Queensland coming. Martin Lang getting ready. Howe taking it to halfway. Tackled right in the middle of the sponsors sign. Harvey Norman with rugby league at Origin level again. Fletcher now. He will play the ball right in centre ground. Robbie Ross is the dummy half. Now it's Fittler off to the right of the ground, picking up Hill over there, but Queensland right up in their face. Right up on top of them, and of course Terry Hill and whoever he partners in the centres tonight is certainly going to be up against two of the best defensive centres in the game.
Speaking of defence, Ray, for any young players out there watching this, and we hope there are plenty, just watch the technique of Jason Hetherington. one of the greatest copybook tacklers you will ever see, and his start to this game has just been superb, cutting everything down that comes his way.
Sideline comment, Steve Roach.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's noticeable on the sideline is the speed of the play the ball of the Queenslanders outdoing New South Wales because they're getting numbers there. Just a quick one on Jason Hetherington. What a start for him. He was dropped after the first game for Queensland last season, made a great comeback. This is the second coming.
9th minute of the first Origin as Jason Smith gets it away. Hetherington gets it on. Tallis is with it. Tallis able to stand, offloads. Robbie O comes into the back line, crosses the halfway line, and is pulled down by the scruff of the neck by Brad Fittler. To the right for the captain. And he puts in a right-footed kick that goes down over the head of Matt Geyer. Queensland coming quickly into the in-goal. They've got him. Great chase. Tremendous kick by Lamb. And then Darren Smith and Matt Rogers, it's a penalty. He's found them in front of the kicker.
I think you'll find the winger is the man at fault that has been caught. I did think at the time that Matt Rogers marginally in front of Adrian Lamb, and I think the touch judge would have helped Bill Harrigan out with that one.
So a let off there for the Blues. A tap. 5 metres on their own side of halfway. This is David Barnhill, one of many changes, and Glenn Lazarus gets ready to come on. Something that is quite familiar to him. 18 Origins behind him. As Kotzeff unloads to the right for Fittler. Beats one on the inside or the outside, and then Saylor brings him down. Out and away from Kotzeff, finding John. John stepping, running into Lang. And also the 16 is on Carroll. Now Gower. 5 gone for New South Wales. They're 10 metres away from the line. And Johns goes to the air. It's on Saylor's wing. The bat down's good for the Blues. Hill is with it, but the referee has found the ball propelled forward. Originally propelled forward. And there it was. He felt that it came off Brian Fletcher. Originally propelled forward before coming back off Queensland. 2-0 then. A penalty at the 4th minute to Matt Rogers. Wally Lewis joining us in commentary tonight.
Well, Ray, I think we can expect as Queensland to see a penalty that will relieve a lot of pressure for them. We expect to see a fair bit of what just happened in that previous set of 6. Fittler running at Kevy Walters. I think that's where New South Wales believe that they do have a distinct advantage. Fittler's sidestep beats the best in the business. Kevy, well, a lot of people say once you stand him up, perhaps you can get around him. He's a great defensive player himself, but he's just got to make sure that he doesn't get stood up one-on-one.
So the Maroons, off the boot of Kevin Walters, finding the line. 42 away from their own line. And Lang, Kotzeff coming up out of the line, takes him, swallows him, puts him away. And 15 for Queensland is Steve Price. 3 Origin matches behind the young Canterbury forward. He's represented the country a similar amount of time. As Lamb is put down 5 metres into Blues territory. State of Origin 1. And Jason Smith putting his kick in. It's going down into the corner. Well, it stood up. I was about to say it'll roll away, and it does eventually. So it'll come back out to the 20 for the restart. Changes for the New South Wales side, and Mundine. Anthony Mundine has taken the paddock. Kotzeff. Oh, he's coughed it up. 35 metres out from the Blues line. Tell us.
And it was Kevin Walters who came up with the hit. It was a beauty.
So Walters a dummy half. New South Wales slowing to play the ball down as long as they could. Now it's a penalty again to the Maroons. It's against the New South Wales player, holding down in the tackle. And it's Glenn Lazarus. Well, if he kicked for goal previously, he will most definitely do it again.
New South Wales really playing into Queensland's hands at the moment. Queensland have not made a mistake. New South Wales have dropped the ball on several occasions, and some strong defence here. Great work, Kevin Walters. Jarred the ball loose. And the penalties favour the Maroons 3-0. Glenn Lazarus pulled Martin Lang back to the ground.
And even the smallest mistakes in Origin tend to come back to haunt you. Nick Kosef, who's played very, very well, especially running the ball out from his own danger end up until that stage, just lost the football in a good one-on-one tackle. Matt Rogers now the opportunity to double the lead. Although not his preferred side for the left footer.
Rogers 12 in, 25 out. At 2-0, courtesy of his boot. This time it's there again. It is 4-0 Queensland as we take a small break. You people watching this in New Zealand, keep some commentary up for your benefit and trust that you're enjoying it. Through Papua New Guinea, great welcome to you, and of course all our viewers through B-Sky B through the United Kingdom. Tremendous event here. 4-0, 2 penalties to Queensland. We are back at Suncorp Medway Stadium in Brisbane for Harvey Norman State of Origin 1. The Wizard Blues are on the end of a 4-0 deficit at the moment. Hetherington spinning it away for Rogers, and this is working nicely for Queensland. Rogers gives them more depth in their kicking game, and he's been able to do it without any pressure. Ross and Geyer, the 2 Melburnians, putting it together. Daly using Howe, another of the Melbourne foursome in the Origin 1. Mundine a dummy half, and now Ricketson. Proud moment for his dad, who played for the Roosters back in the early 60s. And certainly it would be the same for Tony Mundine, the great fighter, with his boy in a blue jumper at Suncorp. Here he is now, stepping off the left foot and then put down 42 metres out from the Queensland line on 5. Robbie Ross for the foot there of Andrew Johns, who puts it across. The bounce is good for Rogers. Everything's going well for Matt tonight. He had a shaky test series, or a shaky test match I should say, but everything has bounced lovely for him tonight. Matt Singh. So far the Queenslanders have transferred a comfortable build-up to the State of Origin onto the park. Carroll to play it on the halfway line. 4-0, 2 penalties for Rogers. That's all we've got. Lang put away on 5.
And in my mind, Ray, Queensland having much more success working it out of their own danger end than New South Wales, as Walters gets a rushed kick away. Well taken by Geyer. Not an easy take. But he's driven back.
Whoa! You can feel the ground rumble. Ross met by Hetherington as we have another look at the shot on Geyer. Darren Smith and one of his colleagues driving. Now they lose it again, the Blues. Saylor. 20-metre line. Matt Singh. Craig Greenhill. 10-metre line. Oh, he's lost the ball playing it. Nothing said about it. Jason Smith puts in a kick. Geyer cleans up for the Blues. Well, I might have misread that, but I thought he lost the ball playing it.
Well, if that was the case, Ray, there's some justice has been given towards New South Wales through an awful kick from Jason Smith. Third tackle. They had plenty of uses of the football still, and I think he's just given the football away. There's definitely a hand there from Fletcher. It could have been another penalty.
Well, one thing is for sure, it wasn't a correct play of the ball. Maybe it got some help from the marker, I'm not sure.
Well, that's great, isn't it? 10 from 11 completion for the home team as Wendell Saylor turns and chases. That's exactly what Mark Murray would have asked for.
Saylor eventually put away. Ricketson doing the tackling with Daly. Lamb. Rogers. This time the Blues are right up on top of it. 32 metres away from the Queensland line. They lead 4-0, 2 penalty goals for Rogers. Now Jason Smith, and he's put down by Gower and Fletcher, I think it is, yes. on the Queensland 40-metre line for Webke. Good run by Webke. Straight and hard. Come and get me if you can. Greenhill. Absolutely smothered by Daly. Tremendous tackle by the Canberra captain. Lamb putting it down behind Geyer. They're really testing young Matthew out. He's handled everything well so far. 2 metres out from his line. Robbie Ross asking Ryan Girdler to go away. Take it away. Girdler's on for Bun. So that would mean, I guess, Fittler has gone back into the forward. Played by Albert. Now Ross. Away from Jason Smith and taken down by Greenhill. That's where they are. 25 away from their own line. A sprint from Stevens. 5 tackles. 35 out from their own line. Now for Johns. On for Daly. Daly puts his kick high. Coming down to Robbie O'Davis. Taking it confidently. Now away for Rogers. He beats Geyer. Put down inside the touchline. 5 metres from halfway. Darren Smith. Penalty goes to Queensland. He may not have wanted to get involved, but the referee has pointed out that the attack was interrupted.
Well, you called it perfectly there, Ray. Smith, very smart out of dummy half, saw that there was a player offside, actually called by the referee, simply ran into him. The defender left with no chance. Queensland now given an opportunity via a penalty kick to put themselves in pretty good position. But the speed of this game so far really has been exceptional.
You can't understand the play there by Matt Geyer to stop and get in Darren Smith's way. This is as good a start from the Queensland team as I've seen in any Origin series in the last decade.
Greenhill now. His progress put away, or halted I should say, just inside the... Oh! No, now they've made a mistake. A real good chance for them has gone asunder.
Turn it up, Sterlo. Give us a break, will you?
That's what was needed.
I'll tell you what, the feature of Queensland's play tonight has been their defence. They are hitting hard, they are driving in their defence, and they have forced so many errors, and their kick chase has just been sensational.
Now Stevens. Daly a dummy half. Lazarus. We seem to have had an array of dummy halves out there for New South Wales. I won't say it's a case of disorganisation, but I have noticed there's been Fittler, there's been Daly, there's been a whole host of them having to get in and do the job. Whether Gower is totally fit, I'm not sure. O'Davis on the run.
Ray, New South Wales haven't lost their composure, but they are a touch rattled at the moment.
Jason Smith will play it. 33 metres out from his own line. As Webke aims it up the middle again. And Crosseff meets him in the middle of the ruck with Lazarus, and underneath all of that was Stevens. To the right for Lamb, and Lamb turns it back on the inside for Greenhill. Greenhill will play it about 3 metres short of the halfway mark. It is 4-0 in favour of Queensland, and Ben Ikin is that's on and finding the line. Ikin rolls it over the sideline at the junction of the 20-metre line. New South Wales is in. 22.5 minutes gone, and 4-0 the home side.
Wasn't a bad result for Ben Ikin. He came off the outside of his boot, but he still picked up 20-25 metres. Paul is exactly right. The big difference between the sides at the moment is the defence. Queensland team, they're hurting in the tackles. They're hitting, as I said, hard, but they're also hitting often.
So the Blues with Daly put down on his own 20. Ross. Fittler now. Beating Tallis. Then away from Carroll. Back for Ross. Inside ball for John. On the 40-metre line. He's dangerous, Fittler. He really has been the one that has worried them and worried them the most. Everything else they've been able to handle pretty comfortably. Ricketson. Just a couple of metres now on the Queensland side of halfway. John. Taken by Carroll. Gets a pass away. The bounce was favourable, but Fittler was placed under pressure. Now, one of the Queenslanders is down, and I think it might be as a result of one of his teammates, Gordon Tallis. We might get a chance to see it, but I think Gordon Tallis is responsible for his teammate, who's prostrate back on the ground near the halfway line. Here's O'Davis. It is Ben Ikin. Webke. He's been a tower of strength. Kelly Walters. Robbie O'Davis. Here's what happened. Now watch Tallis come in late. There he goes. And the only thing left is a maroon player lying on the ground. It was Ben Ikin. They leave the halfway behind them. Hetherington to the 40. 25 minutes gone. Down the blind for Jason Smith to roll it down that corridor. And back comes Robbie Ross as we go to the sideline. Steve Roach.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Adrian Lamb. I know he hasn't run the football yet, but he steered the team around beautifully. I thought the void would be too big to fill for Alan Langer, but he's done a magnificent job so far.
Here's Girdler working with his centre partner, Terry Hill. And now the ball finishes on the ground with Darren Albert. A running Rodney Howe. Oh, another clash of heads. And again, Tallis was involved. Steve Price was on the end of it. Ricketson, 35 metres from the Queensland line. Now it's Johns, and he delicately puts it down into the end goal. Robbie O'Davis will get it back, and he does that fairly easily. Matt Rogers. Away from Howe, away from a second, away from a third. Outside the 20-metre line. What a good run. Adrian Lamb and Kevin Walters now. Walters begging for support. Price tackled on the 30, his own end. Singh back. Saylor trying to beat them. Rogers has got a problem. Lang. Struggling, straining run. Customary of Martin Lang. Jason Smith. This kick has more volume about it. Oh, no! No, he's ruled that it hit the line. That is out. I thought it was just inside the line.
Yeah, well, Jason Smith, look, he's not a bad kicker of the football, but to give him the responsibilities on a big night like tonight, because while he's kicking the ball, I reckon he's forgotten to run the football, and that's where he's at his most dangerous, when he's running the ball.
Well, Paul, he's kicked 5 times tonight, and I don't think he's got a result from any of them.
Well, the touch judge got it absolutely right. Rodney Howe, 15 out from the Queensland line. No penalty as Howe goes to ground. Ricketson for Ross. Fletcher's with it. Fletcher banged into the ground. My goodness, they're hitting hard, Queensland. Daly. Barnhill. The big fella. Just inside the 10. Now Gower. Saylor. Can he do it? No. Line drop out. We'll see the Blues get another chance.
Yeah, some strong defence again there from Queensland to hold out the Blues, but the Blues, they didn't look real flash in that set of 6. They didn't know what to do, where to run, and I've got to say their support play at this stage has been pretty ordinary. Players are standing in tackles with no one running off them. But can the Maroons hold out here? It's at this stage of the game now, nearly half an hour, where players, you've really got to start to dig deep in these matches.
Ben Ikin's dropout not real good. New South Wales will come up in good field position. Rodney Howe has sent them skittling. Girdler. 4-0 at the 28th minute. Queensland. Gower then, away for Barnhill, and Barnhill is tackled just inside the 20-metre line, right in the centre of the park. Johns spinning it, changing the point of the attack. Daly on for Ross, and he's easily contained by Matt Singh. Darren Albert for Laurie Daly. Daly to the 10-metre line. Has scored more tries in Origin than anybody out there. Fletcher will play it now. New South Wales coming left. John inside, and Fittler puts it down. Robbie O'Davis comes away.
Well, that's probably one area of the game that I think Queensland are going to have to be very careful of at the moment. The inside pass tends to create a little bit of disturbance as Wendell Sailor opens up an opportunity. The ball being thrown around. What a wonderfully open attacking game of football, but they're going to have to start thinking about controlling the football again. Don't get carried away by the occasion here.
30-metre line for Queensland. Darren Smith. An offload for Ben Ikin. Gordon Tallis. I know statistics mean nothing at all, but keep in mind, as Peter pointed out much earlier on, the team to win Origin 1 has gone on to win 14 of the last 17. In fact, 14 of the 17 series decided has been won by the winner of Origin 1. Queensland on top at the moment. Robbie Ross. Hopefully he will be able to play at the weekend in our telecast match. Now Ricketson. Right on halfway. Gower to the right for John. Johns for Fletcher. Fletcher confronted by Walters. Gets it away for Mundine. Mundine. 40 metres out from the Queensland line. New South Wales looking for an opening. Looking for a crack in the veneer. Terry Hill! Terry Hill! And here's Mundine! Mundine! He puts it over the line! He scores a try on debut! Terry Hill found the crack, and Anthony Mundine found the line, and it's 4-all.
What a rare crack it is. Matt Singh, you do not see him miss tackles one-on-one. Terry Hill, such a powerful runner, in and away, goes on the outside of Matt Singh, steps inside Robbie O'Davis, could have scored himself, but was unselfish and finds Mundine on the inside, and he has made an impact since coming on, but this, it is very, very rare to see a missed tackle from the number 3.
Unbelievable, but I'm telling you, Terry Hill, this is the form he's been in the last month. He's been playing terrific. Probably could have got there himself, but I think he was running out of juice as well. And Mundine gets the try, breaks the, well, it's the first try of the match, no doubt about it, and the Blues get it.
And I think fair to say has come against the run of play, despite the fact New South Wales have had a lot of possession in the last 10 minutes down this end of the field. Queensland seem to be coping quite well in defence. Mundine, his first Origin game, it won't be his last. And his first try at this level, that also won't be his last.
What's it going to do to his confidence? It'll find a new level. Ryan Girdler. 800 odd points for Penrith. Bang, there it goes, and the Blues are in front. New South Wales 6, Queensland 4 at the 32nd minute. Well, they've struggled. There has been no doubt that it's been Queensland's game. But the Blues are in front on the scoreboard. Crazy game. Crazy game. Welcome overseas, wherever you might be watching. The Nine Network coming to you out of Australia. 6-4. A try and a converted goal. And Fletcher! A good run by the Sydney City back rower. And Mundine put down by Sailor. Howe. Hetherington's been great, hasn't he? Blocking the middle. And the fringes. Fittler. Bent over and put away.
Wendell Sailor has also been very good, Ray. He's diffused a couple of dangerous situations with good tackles late. This kick driven into the corner. O'Davis back to his own line. It's a fine chase led by Daly. It's a nice pick up in ground.
Sideline, Steve Roach.
Yeah, bad news for Matt Rogers. He's got a twisted knee. They're going to wait till half-time, after half-time, and see how he is. He can't put any weight on it at the moment, so they're going to reassess him after that.
So Martin Lang, 21 metres away from his own line. Chris McKenna, Cronulla teammate. The competition front runners with 4 players on show tonight. That kick is off the outside edge. This time, though, good fortune for Queensland.
Yeah, Benny just hasn't struck them well tonight. Benny Ikin, and that would spell danger. Matty Rogers, because he is Queensland's only goal kicker, as far as I can see in their team. Robbie O'Davis is a part-timer, but that would be a massive blow for the Queensland side if he was not to play the rest of the match.
This is how it happened. About 7 minutes back in the game. Girdler now. Pendulum swinging back to New South Wales, or should I say the way of New South Wales. For the first time in the game, you've got to say, Fittler at the 34th minute. His side in front by 2. Mundine, the try scorer. What a moment for Anthony Mundine. Johns. Tallis was around his throat and then had a quick look at the referee, and Johns gets up nursing the head. The ball going down to the 20-metre line for O'Davis, and O'Davis puts on a sprint. Robbie O'Davis loses the ball, but a marvellous run nevertheless.
Oh, what a run from Robbie O, and it took a tackle from his Newcastle teammate and Darren Elwood to bring him down. He does that little how you going with the feet, gets through, and then he was away. And the blonde-haired Flash, all of a sudden, as he beat another one, he took off and got him from behind. And that's what Origin is all about, mate against mate.
The Blues then looking to be the team that picks up a try in this vital part of the game, edging up to half-time. Stevens.
Well, we've got a penalty here against Jason Smith. Bill Harrigan claiming that he had a hold of the New South Wales jersey, and there you can see the left arm did pull the player back down. I think it's a fair enough penalty. The Blues.
So they're going to take the shot. Matty Rogers is back in the Queensland dressing room. That's him over there on the bottom right-hand corner. And they'll assess his condition. The ice, of course, is on the injury. But as Paul said, it'll be a tremendous blow to them if he can't come back.
I don't think this is a decision that would disappoint the Queenslanders all that much at all, Ray. The decision by the Blues to take the 2 points. Plenty of tired faces out there in both camps. The Queensland guys, I think, are just starting to find the pace of the game a little bit tough. Their counterparts getting the upper hand. And I suppose you can always go back to the old adage that 2 points is better than 6 in a tight situation. Just 3 minutes remaining.
Girdler converted the Mundine try. This is 13 in from touch. 33 metres out. It's on its way, and it's across the face. Sailor bringing it out. A boisterous crowd having a good time watching Origin 1. The Blues in front at 6-4 with half-time 2.5 away. Greenhill. McKenna. 40-metre line. Adrian Lamb puts a kick out, looking for the wing. Darren Smith, catch and pass. Kevin Walters, catch and kick. Robbie O'Davis back on his own line. Robbie Ross, I should say. Tackle 10 out. Daly. He hasn't been able to get settled, in my opinion, into the game, Daly. Great player as he's been, and is. Stevens. Mundy. Oh, chance for Queensland. No, it's been cleaned up by Ricketson.
It is the last tackle, Ray. They'll need to get a good kick away. Unfortunately, Andrew Johns was at dummy half. Wendell Sailor still good field position, takes it over the halfway. Still a minute left. They'll get through their set of 6.
38 metres out. On tackle number 2, Webke. 30-metre line. Hetherington. Greenhill. 22 metres out. Right in front of the uprights. Jason Smith knocked down by the Blues. O'Davis kicks. Webke runs it. Webke almost breaking free from the tackle. Now Lamb. Kevin Walters.
Forward.
And it's gone forward. So the half-time siren will sound before the scrum has a chance to pack.
Well, no way was that forward. I know I'm a Queenslander, but dead set went backwards.
Well, I think that might have been an even up for just a few seconds before, Paul. The referee may have got a call from the touchy a little bit late that there was an offside play from the kick that went across field. Neither camp would be too unhappy, I suppose.
So there it is, the sound of the whistle from Bill Harrigan. It is half-time with just one try. New South Wales leading 6-4. They trailed for the majority of the half. 2 penalties to Matt Rogers had Queensland sailing along comfortably. Now they've lost Matt Rogers. New South Wales struck back. Terry Hill and Anthony Mundine. It is 6-4. The New South Wales side over Queensland as they go to a break. So do we, to come back in just a moment. And welcome back, wherever you're watching across Australia, overseas. This is the Nine Network's coverage out of Australia, out of Brisbane Suncorp Metway Stadium, of the first of the Origin matches for 1999. We have New South Wales, the Sky Blue of New South Wales, leading 6-4 at the break, with just the one try in the first 40 minutes, scored by Anthony Mundine and converted by Ryan Girdler. For Queensland, just prior to that we had, well, not just prior, but during the period before that, we had 2 penalty goals, both kicked by Matt Rogers. The health of whom there is some concern with that knee, and it will be a vital loss to Queensland, I'm sure, if he can't come back. Is Adrian Lamb taking them out? And there's plenty of people. Was that Rogers? Yes, it was Rogers. I saw almost limping out onto the ground. Adrian Lamb, there are people saying that both he and Jason Smith have got to run more. If Queensland are to win this game, the 7 and the 13 have got to run more with the football. That's Rogers there at the back. He's there, but only just. The forwards work rate in that first 40 minutes. Here it is for you.
And none better than Jason Hetherington. We gave him plenty of raps, didn't we? 20 tackles, a great effort. And Chris McKenna 17, Shane Webke 16, Greenhill. So the front row working overtime. And Jason Smith only 3 hit-ups, and that's what we're talking about. I think Jason needs to have a look at his game and just take them on a bit more. He's done a few offloads and that as well. Glenn Lazarus, he didn't start the game till after about 10 or 11 minutes, but still leads the tackle count with 16 and some good hit-ups. And Rodney Howe leading the way in the hit-ups with 11. They're all working very hard, the Blues forwards.
Blues coming back. Certainly they were playing catch-ups for the major part of the first half, and they didn't look to be the better team. But when they went to the break, as Peter pointed out, the ascendancy has swung to them, not only on the scoreboard, but the last, I would suggest the last 10 minutes of that first half, they started to look like they were getting in charge. So the Blues, under the captaincy of Brad Fittler, from left to right for the second half, in front of a massive crowd. Record crowd stands at about 40,000 here at Suncorp. I don't know whether that's in jeopardy. There are some vacant seats, but they're hard to find. So the second half is about to unfold with New South Wales leading by 2. And Webke starts us back the way we did in the first half. First man with his hand up. We'll take it to the sideline shortly, and Blocker Roach will be joined down there by Andrew Eddinghausen and Alan Lang. Jason Hetherington, 25 metres away from his line. A magnificent first half for him. And then Jason Smith, an offload for Lamb, and Lamb across for Kevin Walters. And Walters away from Daly, taken by Johns, with play just outside the Maroons' 40-metre line. That kick from Matt Rogers was done in haste, but it was a very good kick. Now it's Ross giving it across for Guy. So many of these young players on debut, and they've come through with flying colours. And Mundine has got a try next to his name. Rodney Howe plays it after being put down hard. Now Kosef started strongly for New South Wales. Stevens. Johns stepping off his right foot, stepping back into the forwards, then flicking a pass for Fletcher. Fletcher away, and it's gone from Kosef through, then from Girdler, catch and pass, Geyer, but Harrigan has found a forward pass.
Yeah, forward pass there, and I do think Jason Stevens was very lucky to get away with his play the ball at the start of the movement. What about this flick from Andrew Johns? He can just do anything, can't he? Keeping it alive. And Matt Guy, he is at fault here because he drifted in front of Ryan Girdler. Had to stay on side and could have done so.
Darren Smith. Singh not going anywhere. Play around the halfway line. Webke to the 40-metre line. Hetherington waits. Slow play the ball. Back on the inside for Tallis. And Terry Hill, who played a dominant role in the try, makes the tackle down the blind side. As Lamb gets away from Rodney Howe. Goes into a gap. Saylor tries to promote it. 18 metres away from the Blues line. Queensland looking for an early second half try. Lamb puts a towering kick up, stacks on the mill, that's over the dead ball line. And a line dropout. We'll see Queensland come back. McKenna tried to get a catch on it. Rogers flew high. It's been deemed that the ball has gone off the Blues.
That was a great kick, but I do think it touched Chris McKenna last before going over the dead ball line.
Johns with the restart. I don't think you're wrong, Peter. In fact, I was quite amazed when he indicated a line dropout. Greenhill. Hetherington now to the right. Some wide forwards lurking. Smith running the football then. 15 away from the Blues line. Lamb, beautiful pickup. Inside for Rogers. Oh, he looked the wrong way. Walters was on his left. Hetherington for Lamb. Lamb's got Walters inside him. Forward pass. Well called. I don't know by whom, but it was a good call. Let's go to the sideline as we watch this replay. Definitely forward.
Yeah, we've got Alfie Langer on the sideline. He's been in with Mark Murray. One missed tackle from the Queenslanders. New South Wales in through Mundine.
Yeah, well, that's what really cost Queensland. I thought they were on top for the most of the half, but that try's made New South Wales in front at half-time. But I was in the dressing room at half-time. Mark Murray wants a lot better kicking game to keep the New South Wales side down in their 40-metre zone, and then we can work it on from here. A lot tighter defence. Let them go around them. We can't let them go through us.
Well, thanks very much, Alfie. Over to Andrew Eddinghausen. He was with Wayne Pearce in the New South Wales room at half-time. Junior would have been pretty happy, but a little bit slow to get off to play the ball.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Block. Junior said there's no no newcomers in this second half. Everyone's been out there and had a dig. He wants to get the boys right up in the line, right up in their faces and try to force some errors.
Chance here for Queensland. We'll come back to ET in a moment. Walters away for Darren Smith on a second man play. 25 away. Matt Singh. Sailor turning it back. Singh is with him. They go down the blind now. And Singh is 15 metres away from the New South Wales line. Greenhill. Inside for Sailor. Taken by Daly. Tallis waits. To the blind. Tallis. A metre from it. Hetherington. Walters. Long for Lamb. Lamb, a lost the ball. Here they go. Here they go. They're in. Queensland are over.
Are they in?
Matt Rogers has scored all the points.
Well, let's have a look. They've gone to the video.
To check the grounding of the ball.
And you can hear that Bill Harrigan, he's not 100% certain that Rogers has got the ball down.
I don't think Matt Rogers is either, just by the look on his face there, Pete.
Yeah, it's not a confident look, is it? And that's the best way to gauge. I think he's lost it. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I think he's lost it too, Pete. And I think Matt Rogers knows that.
Well, the Queensland players are now heading back to halfway. Well, this is...
Yeah, I tell you what, I reckon you blokes might have gone off a bit early here. The side-on shot. The side-on shot still says to me there's a finger on the ball with downward pressure.
Yeah, that's how the rule reads. It's strange, isn't it? You've only got to have a fingernail on the ball. I've got to agree with the other two. Front on, it looked like he definitely dropped the ball, but you have a look at this one here, and there doesn't seem to be...
No,
did the ball actually slip out of the claws?
I don't know. I think he's lost it still.
Okay. I'd be disappointed if you switched.
I'm just calling it as I see it, Ray. I think he loses the ball there.
Well, the pictures I've seen indicate there might be still a finger on the ball with downward pressure. And that's all you need.
Well, the New South Wales team, they don't think it's a try. They watched the replay. They're walking out towards the 20-metre line.
For Hardware House.
Well, the lead-up deserved the try. They did very, very well to get the ball to the right-hand side with an overlap. And I think you'll find again that maybe Darren Smith could have scored himself, but through to Matt Rogers. No try.
No try. They have decided that he lost the ball.
A quick restart from New South Wales, and they were odds on to score there, the Maroons. They should have scored, but there was one New South Wales player who didn't give up as Fittler makes a good burst.
I think it was Ryan Girdler who really chased hard and put pressure on Rogers to ground that ball, and now it's been another knock on by the Blues.
Oh, gee, how many times have they done this, New South Wales?
Well, Kosef did it the last set of 6.
This was the reaction by Matt Rogers when it was turned down. The Maroons go on the attack.
Nice
35 metres out from the line.
Just quickly, Ray, I think Matt Rogers, when he put the ball down, or thought he put the ball down, was in some doubt. His first reaction wasn't a confident one.
Webke, Hetherington, Greenhill. 21 metres away from the New South Wales line. Hetherington to the right. Lamb, Smith the runaround. The wide forward, McKenna. 19 out. 6-4 still, New South Wales, a let-off. McKenna not ready for it. Not ready for the fancy stuff from Jason Smith.
I will say this about Queensland. Mark Murray at half-time has really had a good long talk, I think, to Adrian Land, Kevin Walters and Jason Smith, and they're being a lot more productive in attack with the football. So opening up a few holes in the Blues defence. Tony Carroll looks on. Hasn't had a great deal of time on the field tonight.
Let's go back to Andrew Ettinghausen. I left him about 5 minutes ago. Andrew, what else can you tell us from the New South Wales room?
Well, I know that Junior was very disappointed about the kick chase, and he emphasised that a number of times. He wanted to know who responsibility it was for the players. And, you know, they all put their hand up and said, we're going to make sure we put a big effort in on this second half.
Andrew Ettinghausen and Alan Langer on the sideline with Steve Roach tonight. And in the box, Paul Vorton, Peter Sterling and Wally Lewis. But New South Wales have got a problem. It is Craig Gower. Injured. 8 minutes into the second half. Queensland making changes. We will take a quick break and be back with you in just a moment. Gower taken from the field. At the 48th minute, he was in terrible pain the other day in the match between Penrith and Newcastle. He suffered a similar fate. 6-4 as Craig Gower is taken off for New South Wales, not looking like he'll be back, which will probably see Mundine used as a dummy half. Sailor flies into the air and then is met by Daly and Hill. He offloads for Matt Singh. Johns wraps him up with Albert, the Novocastrian. Now Tallis running into them backwards. On the 40-metre line, Hetherington for Lang. Good advance by Martin Lang. Lamb, McKenna, standing offloading, back for Hetherington, across for Tallis. Beats John, gets away. Oh, Adrian Lamb, if it sticks. If it sticks. It could well have been Sailor down the left flank.
Yeah, nearly a piece of Gordon Tallis magic there. He's really running hard and fast in the second half. Bursting through that tackle and just a touch low, but you've got to get them in Origin. They're hard, but you've somehow got to manufacture a catch there somehow.
A report on Craig Gower quickly from the sideline.
Yeah, he's got a cork hip again. I tell you what, you can't go into these games under an injury crowd. I thought he struggled in the first half to get the dummy half. They used a lot of dummy halves, New South Wales.
Rodney Howe. Completions still quite acceptable, you'd have to say, particularly at this level. Barnhill on the halfway line. Lazarus puts a roll on. Mundy down the blind. Puts on a little step. And Matt Geyer takes the defence. 32 metres away from the Queensland line. For Johns. Darren Smith, or Price it was. Off Daly. Down for Singh. It's play on for the Maroons. 37 metres away from their line. Tallis has gone up a gear. 7 metres his side of the halfway. Walters. Jason Smith, his brother, lurking outside him. That's where they are. Just into Blues territory. Jason appeals for a penalty. Martin Lang. Oh, look at the head go bouncing. It always does, but that was a big bounce. Tellers. O'Davis. Walters looking for his right flank up. Geyer is there. He was cool, but he's taken over that touching goal. It's a line dropout.
Yeah, it's a line dropout, Ray, but they had 5-on-2 on this side of the field, but opted to go to the far side. The kick was a good one from Kevin Walters, not an easy one for Guy to close down. But, gee, they made the wrong decision. There were plenty of troops, and Rodney Howe, that's not the first time he sent the head jolting back. His defence front on tonight has been first rate.
Let's include Luke Ricketson in the plaudits. Big hitting by the New South Wales pair. Now, O'Davis. Daly the tackler, main tackler. O'Davis is hurt.
Well, Bill Harrigan signalled that it was across the shoulder, so that's why there was no penalty against Laurie Daly, but it has stung Robbie O'Davis.
Replay's not going to help Laurie Daly.
Oh, gee, I disagree. I think he got him flush across the shoulder.
I don't know where he put the shoulder pads in that one. Across the ears.
Carroll. Lamb. Jason Smith. 25 away from the Blues line. Now a penalty goes to the Maroons.
One over there, that one's yours.
So, Matty Rogers is moving over and is going to take his third shot for goal. This to bring them level. Now,
they've been getting quite lazy in this area, New South Wales, and Bill Harrigan could have given a couple of penalties previously. On that occasion, Jason Smith had hold of Rodney Howe's jumper. There's been quite a deal of that as well tonight.
You're not suggesting the penalty went the wrong way, are you, as a former coach of Queensland?
No.
No, I think Rodney Howe had the hand on the jersey a lot longer than Jason Smith did. Should be locked up here.
Rogers denied a try. This is his own business. And he's got him in the air again. He's got him up again. 6-all. 53rd minute of Origin 1.
You just settle down, Rabs. We want you here for the full duration. Fatty, whatever Mark Murray said at half-time, it's had the desired effect. I think they've come out and got control of the game.
Johns with a more of a grubbing restart. Lang. Like a 10-pin ball. Lang. Come on, Adrian, you've got to start running. Price. 30-metre line. Now Carroll. He knows what it's like to be Anthony Mundine, doesn't he? He did a similar thing on debut for Queensland last year. Ross. Arkington. But who got him? Hetherington. What a game in defence. Here he goes again. And it's a penalty to the Blues. Penalise the markers for not lining direct. Tap to be taken. 40 metres away from the Queensland line. Rodney Howe. Laying the tackler in 17. They come back down the blind. Lazarus bowling them over as he goes. 25 out from the line. A chance now for New South Wales. John. Hetherington mistimed his tackle. Away from Gower, who's back on. Fittler. Daly. Daly put down by Darren Smith and Adrian Lamb. And he's ruled a scrum, so he must have found a knock on in there, did he? Laurie losing the ball. Well, they've done it again, New South Wales. And there it is, with no help, according to the touch judge that Laurie Daly was looking at. Darren Smith. Walters.
Well, the crowd thought that New South Wales backs were offside here, but the referee called out the ball had cleared the scrum, so they could come up.
Ben Ikin. A checkered year for him. Offside against the Blues again. 6-3 the penalties to Queensland now. Bill Harrigan, his 9th Origin. And I pointed out at the top of the show, 6 of those times Queensland have been victorious. Lang.
Gower's back on.
Lamb. Jason Smith. O'Davis in from the back. Girdler makes the tackle with Johns. Smith now to the line for Carroll. 20 away. Back to a wide line. Smith to Smith. Darren takes the tackle. Rogers at acting half. Lamb. Kevin Walters. Gordon Tallis. Oh, he's lost the ball. He was thinking about what comes next. And the Blues come up with it. So Queensland, another chance. They've let go. And that's how it happened. Ricketson. I can hit him hard. Webke and Hill had a little bit of a dust-up in back play. Nothing in it. Barnhill almost to the 40. The kick. Whoa! The pass back was a horror. And Robbie Ross has got a tremendous kick on it. Excellent work by Robbie Ross. Sailor.
Tremendous work there from the New South Wales fullback, Robbie Ross. The ball was just thrown to nowhere. Even as he kicked it, he got hammered by Jason Smith. Queensland, good field position now. Goes through Darren Smith.
Roger. Webke.
Oh, gee, a bit high and a bit careless.
It was tackle. Under the scrutiny of everybody. Nothing said. Carroll. Smith kicking for Rogers. Robbie Ross safe. Been a good custodian, holding down the #1 shirt in front of David Peachey. What's happened here?
Huh? We've got a
High tackle around the face.
by number 4.
4.
Okay.
He's come with a swinging arm around the face and collected the New South Wales player.
Okay, just stand down. High tackle, high tackle.
Just a quick word there to Darren Smith. Must have got Robbie Ross high. That was the one, Brad Fittler.
Oh, he's failed to find touch as we come out of the replay. The Maroons are with the football. Tallis. Greenhill. Walters. Aiken. 18 from the line. Singh. Tallis. That's where they're at. Tallis is injured, is he?
I think we've got a high tackle here, Ray. Cross after the man.
Same as that over there.
2 more points.
Right in front. Right in the middle of the high diddle-diddle for Queensland to go to the lead after 1 hour.
And of course that came in a set of 6 after New South Wales failed to find touch after they were given a penalty for a high tackle. Darren Smith the culprit. Andrew Johns just trying to go for too much ground. And a super take from Robbie O'Davis. And both #1s tonight have been fine. Wonderful games from the fullbacks.
So Andrew Johns will be rueing the fact that he missed finding touch. It's given Queensland the chance to edge 2 points in front. He couldn't miss it, could he? 12 metres out. Flags up. Oh, they breathed a sigh of relief. The Maroons in front of the Blues by 2. Deep kickoff. And that's Craig Greenhill bringing it back. Ben Ikin. Webke. And a great chance coming for the Blues here. Welcome back. And a change in fortune for New South Wales has just happened. This happened a matter of a second ago. And we go to this scrum with New South Wales. Loose head and feed. Daly. Oh, he's lost it. It'll be a penalty. Here comes the equaliser. Well, it's tit for tat.
Don't say that, Rabs. You can stop a train. He hasn't put it over yet. But Laurie Daly straining, getting through. The tackle of Kevin Wallace, who hung on, and Robbie O'Davis. Oh, gee.
He's lost that one.
I think he lost it, but have a look at the motion of O'Davis at the end of it. Like, I think it's accidental, the ball coming out. But right at the death, it actually looked like his hand was in a position that had raked it out.
Good luck. 20-metre line, in from touch. 15 out. Kicking from in front of the McCall stand, the man that started State of Origin football. 63 minutes gone. Is this the leveller? Girdler, yes. Girdler levels. 8 points all.
State of Origin, it's all about minimal mistakes. And both teams have been guilty of them deep inside their own danger area tonight. And they paid the penalty with a few penalties and just the one try.
Stevens. Kossoff. So is it too early to think that way? 16 to go. Gower. Is it ever too early, Wally?
Well, they go right down to the wire, plenty of these games. I'm interested to see what part Anthony Mundine plays in the match from here on. Plenty of players tied out there. He could be the man to break the back for Queensland.
Rogers work. Yes, into touch. Oh, tremendous defence by the New South Wales side.
That could be the turning point of the match. A great chase, a brilliant kick as well, and Rogers went towards the sideline. He was hemmed in. Great defence from Matt Geyer.
Yeah, the important thing there was no break in the tackle. The momentum took him over the line. The kick was beautifully placed. Here's the chance.
So Daly on the half volley. Oh, got rid of Walters and has put down 9 metres away from the line. Ross. Ricketson stepping off both feet. Gower through to Fletcher. Fletcher! A metre from the line. Gower. A dummy and then back. Gower is held up in goal. So they will get the ball back, the Blues, from the ensuing scrum.
Little dart from Craig Gower. It's Kevy Walters. They turn him on his back and he can't get the ball down. Good defence. Craig Greenhill comes in late. Tallis was there as well.
So here they come again. With Johns. Gower. Fittler. Girdler. Now Robbie Ross in from fullback is pulled down. Ball is loose. He's lost the ball. The fans roar their approval. So a scrum will give possession back to Queensland. That time he got it right.
No, we've never had a draw in a State of Origin game. I think the closest we came was Alan Langer breaking a deadlock in the last few seconds. The handling errors, they could prove the difference in this game.
Sailor. Singh. Progressing beyond the 30. Icon. Greenhill. Players striving to find that extra piece of stamina. Chalice. And out she comes. And it's play on. Some luck for the Blues. Ricketson. Guy. Taken by Lang and Walters. Got a ball away. Gower. Gower hit by a three-man Queensland tackle. That was heavy. He's come up without it. And I think he's going to put a scrum down. Now Gower's been put in the blood bin. And a scrum will pack on the Queensland 30-metre line. Up they came, a maul of players, 3 Queenslanders in the tackle. Gower appeals, but I've got a feeling that the referee and the touch men were all unsighted, and they really had to go the way they have. Lang. O'Day. Just beyond the 30-metre line. Queensland's end of the game. 8 points all, 12 to go. O'Davis. Lang. He's lost the ball. The chance is there for New South Wales one more time. 40 metres out. Floating pass for John. Cuts out Daly. Sends Terry Hill down the right.
Ray, I do think we'll see Andrew Johns take the field goal if they haven't scored in the set of 6.
How? I get the impression, looking at them, Peter, that both sides are too tired to run very far anyway. First chance they get, they'll take the shot. Johns back for Mundine. A lot of ball movement, a lot of stepping, but not going anywhere.
Yeah, Johns wants one taken forward.
Fittler.
And I'd say this would be the time. Johns in the first receiver.
Robbie Ross looks for Johns. Here comes the shot. There it goes.
Missed it.
And it's away. It's away to the left of the uprights.
Well, that's what Origin can do to you. He was 12 metres out, right in front, and pushed it.
So we've had one shot. New South Wales had the chance. Walters. Darren Smith. Halfway line. Lamb.
Well, who is the marksman for the Queenslanders? Adrian Lamb. I haven't seen Kevin Walters kick too many.
Lang beating a shoulder charge from Rod Howe. Now they're 35 metres away. Lamb on the right, kicking for Rogers. And the Blues, I think, have taken this over.
Well, this is an enormous decision. Let's have a look.
He's given it to the Blues, the feed.
Oh, yeah, great work from Robbie Ross. Absolutely superb.
Harrigan getting very sound advice from the touch man on the far side. Terry Hill. It must be mistake-free football by New South Wales. They're working it out of the 20-metre zone. Mundine. Fletcher. Johns. Put down by Price and Lang. Mundine tries to step the forwards. Gets a ball back for Johns. Lazarus, Daly. And Daly put down on the 40-metre line. 5 gone. John. Hurried kick. Bouncing up for Wendell Sailor. The sky shot. Ends 35 metres out from his own line. O'Davis. Rogers, McKenna. Hetherington for Lamb. Onward for Lang. Jason Smith turning it in for Rogers. 5 tackles gone. They haven't done a great deal with it. Lamb goes for a long drop kick, and it drops about 10 metres short. Robbie Ross then returns it. That was super optimism by Adrian Lamb. Or was it sheer frustration?
Well, both sides had defended pretty well. They haven't seen a clean break for a while. Laurie Daly nearly makes one. But this is the stage of the game. With, what, 7 minutes to go, you're looking at your petrol gauge and it's dead set on empty. And you've got to try and find something.
Well, if we are looking at a field goal to decide this one, New South Wales have a distinct advantage. Despite that, Andrew Johns miss. Well, there's a mistake, giving Queensland possession first time in a long time at this end of the field.
Penalty's gone Queensland's way. Harrigan was quite happy to play on. This ball was raked in a one-man tackle by Darren Smith to a player in an onside position, his brother Jason. And then the penalty came there against Mundine for raking the ball from Jason Smith, who would be deemed to be a tackle player on the ground. So the one-on-one situation expires at that point in time. Now, can Queensland snatch a victory? Lang, 8 points all. State of Origin 1. Price.
Robbie O'Davis getting in some sort of position.
Carroll.
I think it's the fullback, Ray.
Back they go for Matt Rogers.
Oh.
Matt Rogers. The hand goes up. The hand is up. It's 1 point. Queensland are in front.
Now we've got to start watching for the catch-up footy. Do they try and kick short? Do they kick for the touchline? Queensland have got to make sure they cover every avenue. Perfect balance from Rogers. Nothing wrong with that right leg as he provides the balance for the left drag through straight between the posts.
So Johns restarts. It is 9 points to 8 in favour of Queensland. I showed you a statistic earlier in the night. The average score in Origin football had gone Queensland's way by 1 point. And that is unfolding again. Lamb to the halfway line. Hetherington, a run for himself to the 40-metre line. Walters waits. 9-8 Queensland. 5 minutes to go. Greenhill. Gower low, Barnhill high. Walters to the right. Jason Smith. He puts a midfield bomb in the air. And it came off a Queenslander. It's play on for New South Wales, but not for Queensland. And that'll be a turnover for the Blues. Very ordinary kick from Jason Smith.
Yeah, it was, but Queensland do have the easy part now. They've just got to defend. They haven't got to worry about trying to score any more points. The last 5 minutes, inside the 5-minute mark, they've just got to get their line set, keep coming up and covering on the inside.
John looking inside, going out. Jerry Hill down the rail of the ground, and Sailor makes the tackle. 42 metres out from the Queensland line. Mundine swamped by the defence. Johns taken by Fittler, flying high. Barnhill inside ball for Girdler. Put away, 40 away. 5 tackles gone, they wouldn't go for it from here. Fittler shaped for it. Johns gives it for Ross. Ross back for Johns. Now Queensland have got it. Walters comes up with the ball. 3 3/4 minutes to go. Carroll. O'Davis. Jason Smith. Craig Greenhill. Hetherington. Slowly and safely as you go. That would be the word from Mark Murray. Lamb, a grubbing kick, looking for the line. Doesn't find it. Robbie Ross has got Darren Albert over on his left. He's with the ball now. Albert, taken down by Hetherington, not held. Webke cleans him up.
Oh, silly.
It's a penalty to the Blues. Billy Harrigan ruled that he'd been tackled. There was no need to tackle him again.
Yeah, I think there were two poor choices there. Firstly, the original one, I believe that the ball should have gone into touch. Queensland try and run as much out as they can out of the clock.
Stevens.
What that penalty has done is enabled New South Wales to possibly get into field goal range himself.
Lazarus rolling the wagon to within 32 metres. Johns, Fittler, Ross. Now they're 25 away. Brad Fittler himself for the drop goal, and it's wide again. They've had 2 shots at it, twice. They've come back with nothing.
With all due respect, Ray, I've got no doubt that Andrew Johns is a much better drop kicker than Brad Fittler. And I'm surprised that on the last 2 occasions that they've set for the field goal after Johns miss, it's been the 13 who's been the target.
And I think on that occasion, Peter, Fittler actually ran across to get the ball. He was almost running sideways when he caught it. Johns was standing in perfect position, didn't have to move a centimetre.
No, it was panic football. They'd only had 3 tackles out of the 6. They had plenty of time to get into better position.
2 minutes to go. 9 points to 8. The Maroons.
Great run, Madsen. Still going.
Lamb. Greenhill. Just a few metres on the New South Wales side of halfway with 1.5 minutes to go. It is miracle time required now for the Blues. Jason Smith, a hard grubbing kick, winding down the clock.
That's his best for the night.
He's had a very good second half tonight, Jason Smith. He's run the football. He's been heavily involved in both attack and defence this second half.
So the Blues, with an overlap on the right of the ground, they get it back on the inside, and Darren Smith pulls off a tackle that had to be made. Now it's along the line. Ricketson, Geyer, Matt Geyer held and put down. Now the arms are in the air.
He's knocked on.
He has knocked the ball on. I think some of the Queenslanders thought that the siren had sounded. As far as Chopper Close and Tony Carroll are concerned, it's over. The clock says it's over now. Queensland have won. The Maroons have won the opener. 9 points to 8. It's lived up to its birth of 20 years ago. It just keeps doing it. It might not have been the best Origin game we've ever seen. A lot of mistakes, a lot of frustration, a lot of impatience. But 9 points to 8. The Maroons return to the winners list at Suncorp for the first time, I think, in something like 3 years. A drop goal. from Matt Rogers. He got the lot and had 4 denied. Matt Rogers got the lot and had 4 denied.